Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, dhammāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
नमस्ते सभी को मेरे तरफ से अभी नमस्ते. Now I'm streaming from Thailand. I myself is Nandiya, Bhikkhu Nandiya. मेरा नाम Bhikkhu Nandiya. And together with the degree that I had achieved since my novice, so it has been added with the tail behind my name, so it's called Nandiyālankāra. Anyway, in the short, you can call me Nandiya. And I'm originally from Arunachal Pradesh. I'm an Indian. Maybe I don't look like India. Nia lauze. Alo me mingaba. Ude ergara mya. Ude adimi kunya. Alo ngo. Minglaga no kenseta bare. And once I've been to the Lokuttara Mahavihara Center, where they provide for the Bhikkhu Sangha for the training. They arrange some teaching course is going on there, and I've been there once to contribute the teaching of the Vinaya, Bhikkhu Vinaya. And currently now I am still now I am a MA student now in Mahāparinibbāṇa Vidyalaya, MCU in short form, and it's located in Ayutthaya, Thailand. And thanks you all guys, all the members volunteered their time and energy organizing. It was cut off. And yeah, let's continue, and we'll continue up to the end of the Maha-parinibbana Sutta. No, I'm just talking. And tonight, I'm going to talk about the final journey of Buddha's life, how he led to the Maha-parinibbana, how he finished the end of his life. And all together pay homage to the Lord Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, dhammāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. So, all of my Dhamma friends, good evening. So thank you very much for everybody whoever participated, contributed their time for organizing this excellent GBC channel, Global Buddhist Congregation of India. And heartily thankful to Dr. Harshadip Kamble also, who has been leaded for a very, very long time ago, doing much hard work for the propagation, for the revival of Buddhism in India. So thank you very much. And I'll keep praying for your good health also, so that you can further do much better, can bring much development for the Buddhism in India. And thank you all, and thanks everyone. So now we are going to talk about Maha-parinibbana Sutta. Maha-parinibbana Sutta, ये जो sutta है, it is from under the Fifth Nikaya. It is under the group of Digha Nikaya. And Digha Nikaya, the most longest sutta in Tipitaka, you can call it. And why did I choose this Maha-parinibbana Sutta? Because I want to connect you with the life events of the Buddha, how he ends his life, how he struggled, how he worked hard for the sadhana till the end of his life, for the welfare of many, of all beings. How large, how great his loving kindness was, how tirelessly he served for the humanity, for the community, and for the long of the sadhana. So it is really a very interesting sutta, Maha-parinibbana Sutta. And because it is the last time of Buddha, so each and every word of his Buddha Vachana, it has to be preserved, maintained, and well practiced for all of the Buddhist community. So there is many words of the Buddha to follow, to remember, and every day we can recollect on the Buddha's word coming from the Maha-parinibbana Sutta. So the Buddha here, the sutta begins from the January, the whole year of his 80 life, of his 80 age, and he completed from the January till the May, till the coming of the full moon of the May, when the Buddha passed away. And there in the sutta, we will find that how when he did enter for the Vasa, and after coming out of the rainy retreat, and then he further goes towards Sawasi and Rajagaha, and then come back to the Vaisali, and there after went to Kusinara, and there he took his parinibbana. So this long journey, the sutta begins from Rajagaha, and it goes on and on and on. Together, we can count it up to 19 places Buddha visited in his last year. Since from the January till end of the year, and coming up to the May, full moon day of the May, when he took his Maha-parinibbana. So, great event, great lifetime event of the Buddha, and we must cherish it for our whole lifetime, and we can miss the Buddha through this Maha-parinibbana Sutta. So I don't think that I can cover this whole sutta. It's a very long sutta. So as much as possible, I'll try to summarize the sutta and pick up some important words of the Buddha. And This Maha-parinibbana Sutta, the translation goes as the last days of the Buddha, but last days, it can be the last year of the Buddha. So just in short, we can call it the last journey of the Buddha as he goes through traveling all the cities and towns and crossing 2 different rivers, and also staying under the jungle, meeting with every community. So I call it the last final journey of the Buddha. So in this sutta, the sutta begins with when the Buddha was dwelling in Rajagaha in the vulture's peak. It is called, now it is Rajgir, and the vulture's peak means Gicca Kuta. In Pali we call it Gicca Kuta. Gicca is the vulture, Kuta is the peak, the top of the mountain, top of the hill. And as you know, the Rajgir has been surrounded with all the mountains side by side. And the top of those mountains look like the peak of the vulture. So it's named as Gicca Kuta. And there the Buddha was dwelling. And at the time, the king Ajatasattu was wanting to attack the Vajjayans. Vajjayans, the Vajji, the federal state of Vajji. They are called as Lichavi also, Lichavi, the race of Lichavi. And sometimes we can call it Vajjiya. So the Buddha, the Ajatasattu, the son of King Bimbisara, he wants to invade, he wants to destroy all that Vajjayan because he doesn't get his share from the tax that he supposed to get. He didn't get the taxes and shares from the Vajjayan. When some goods, the finest goods, comes down from the river Ganges and at some part that belongs to Ajatasattu, but the Vajjayans go before him and overtook all the goods, and he never get any goods from that import from outside country at the time. So he was feeling agitated. So he bear hatred against the Vajjayan, and he wants to destroy and he wants to conquer. But later, after the Parinibbāna of Buddha, after 3 years, he did it. He destroyed all the Vajjayans, he destroyed all the Lichavis, and that place also belongs to Ajatasattu. He captured them all. So here, he wants to get some suggestion from the Buddha. He knows that Buddha, whatever Buddha speaks, whatever Buddha has some idea about this attack, about this war that he is going to wage against the Vajjayan, that we will get some good idea from the Buddha. And by using that, we can conquer the Vajjayan. So he sent 2 chief minister, VESAK Brahmana. The one name is VESAK. He sent his minister to know what the Buddha has to say about this war. And VESAK approached the Buddha and get a greetings, talk, some courtesy, exchanges some good words, and then he requested the Buddha that whatever King Ajatasattu has told him to ask the Buddha. Then the Buddha preached about the nation's welfare, the 7 conditions, the 7 factors that every citizen, whether it is the chief minister, the prime minister, or all of the heads and leaders, they should practice these 7 principles lead their country, lead their nations to welfare and prosperity. So what are they? What did the Buddha preach them? The 7 conditions for the nation's welfare. What are they? Abhinang Sanipada Bahula. They must have a frequent gathering. They must meet each other. The community, the certain community, the heads, the members, if they want development, not decline, then they have to meet with each other. They must hold meetings again and again and discuss with whatever issues are prevailing in their current time. And so by discussing each other, by meeting with each other, this is the first step to take upon for all solutions of the nation, all solutions of the country. So first, you have to meet with each other face to face, discuss, not just by online or talking or chatting through the social media. It doesn't help much. You must sit together face to face and find out the solution with whatever you have to deal with. So the first, you have to hold a meeting so that then only you will get the development of the nation. Not only nation, any part of country, any state, or any community, society, everywhere. You have to meet together again and again. Maybe once a month, I think, or twice a month, you have to hold meeting to meet each other and have some discussion. And number 2 is to Samaga Sanipatanti Vutanti Vajikarniyani Karonti. And the second, whenever you assemble, whenever you get together, or after the meeting, before the meeting or after the meeting, after you left behind the meeting, and even after attending to the affairs of the country, of the state, or of the any society. So you have to be stay in harmony. Second, you must be united. Unity must be established within you, within the members. Then only you can expect for the welfare, for the prosperity, for the growth, not to decline. So the second one is there must the harmony, there must be the unity. And the third is this all the principles that the Buddha is teaching was first conveyed the Ananda to the Vajjan already, so that the Vajjans can practice, and by practice these 7 factors, the Vajjans are always developing, and till the last instructions by the Ajatasattu. So it's like, seems like the Buddha is opening up the secret why the Vajjans are so strong enough that they could lead their lineage for a long, long time. These 7 principles they have been practicing, and now the Buddha is opening these all principles. But Buddha is not telling their secret why they are so strong enough to conquer. So the Buddha here wants to mention that you have to live in peace and harmony with each other, rather than fighting and attacking with each other. You maintain your peace and harmony with each other so that you can bring the welfare of your own nation. So Buddha wants that. The Buddha's intention is not to tell the secret why they are strong and how you can conquer them, but rather you yourself establish the peace and harmony within your own Magata. So this was the intention of the Buddha. that mentioned by the Thakatha. And the third, how to build a strong nation. Third point is not to abolish the old constitution, the old law, the old decrees, neither to add the new law, and to proceed in accordance with the. So this is the third principle. Why the Vajrayana were strong for a long time ago, since the end. So for a good nation, for the growth of the nation, we must know the value of the constitution, and we should not abolish that this rules is not essential, not necessary now in this days, and we must add some new, edit some new rules, and we go on and on editing and until we don't have our own unique identity of the nation. So preserving the rules that had been established by our ancients, by our forefathers, by the great intellectuals, we must appreciate their rules that fit with the particular place and particular time. So we have to preserve all the rules. We have to go along with all the constitution, with our established constitution. Maybe there can be have some minor changes, but it's better we don't abolish the root of the constitution. This is the third principle for the welfare of a nation. And the fourth is Buddha is telling to Ananda, have you heard, Ananda, that the Vajis, they show respect, they honor their elders, and they think that whatever their elders, their brothers or sisters, they give some advice, then they think that it's worthwhile to listen to them. Have you heard this? The Buddha was asking the Ananda. He was implying it so that the minister sent by Magat, sent by Ajatasattu, you can grasp the meaning why the Vajrayana are so strong and you don't think to attack them. And Ananda said, yes, Master, the Vajrayana, they show respect to their elders. So as long as the Vajrayana are practicing this principle, this condition, it is to expected from them, the growth is to be expected only and not decline. So as long as we are so I think I'm good now. So as long as the citizens of progression, as the Vajrayana, they have high respect to their elders, they listen to their advice, they follow them, and they don't bargain their work. They don't have any issue with their suggestions. So long, then the growth and prosperity is to be expected from the Vajrayana, not decline. So this is the fourth factor for the development of the nation. So everybody listening here, we have to listen of our elders. We should not always be against them. Maybe we may have some against inside our heart, but we should not utter it in words and have rather leading to quarrel or fighting. We should avoid it. We must maintain the peace and harmony with our elders. We must listen to our elders. They have lived for long and they have accumulated much better experience, much lessons learned for their juniors. So it is a good principle, the fourth one, that we must listen to our elders in order to maintain development of our society. And the fifth factor is that, have you heard, Ananda? The Master Lord Buddha is saying that the Vajjans, they are refraining from abducting the women and maidens of good families, from detaining them. And Ananda said, yes, Master. So as long as they are refraining from forcibly taking up, forcibly making all the women whichever women they want, and they refrain, that they don't force them to be their wives, to be their maid. So the Buddha is telling how to respect the women of that time. Most of the women, they were forced. They were the only to go when they married. They have to go to the husband's house. The husband will not come to their house to stay with her, but rather the women, she has to go with the husband. She has to leave behind her family. So at that time, most of the women, they were forced, they were beaten up. So Buddha is telling here that one must respect the woman in order to bring prosperity, in order to so the nation, all citizens, all members of the nation, they must respect, they must give due respect towards the women. And whenever they have to marry with them, they must understand they are willing, whether they are ready for their marriage or not. So this was the fifth factor. If anyone wants to see the prosperity of the country, they must follow this rule. Number 6, it is, have you heard, Ananda, that the Vajjans, they show respect, they honor their shrines, Chapala, Chetiya, and many other Chetiyas were there in the Vajji. So both those within the city and those outside, and do not deprive them of the due offerings as given and made to them formally. So for the prosperity of the nation, we must, the sixth principle is that we must show our respect towards any shrine, any pagoda, any chetiya. We must show our respect that has been practiced from our elders, from our forefathers, from the ancient times. We must preserve this practice. Like we offer some dana, some food and waters for the shrine. And shrines means sometimes it can be a tree also. It can be a tree or any plant or mountain also maybe, because there the deities, the devatas who live, who dwell in certain place, in certain trees, rivers, they have their own place there. So if we believe on them and we pay our respect and we share our merit that we gained, then they will protect us in return. If we show our loving kindness towards the devatas and we pay our respect towards the devatas who live in our house or in any shrine, then they look after us. Wherever we go, they take care of us, so that we don't come across with accidents or certain horrible accidents. So, in order to prevent any horrible incidents, to get the protection from the devas, we must have respect for them. We should not be disrespectful that has been preserved from our forefathers. So this is the sixth factor that the Vajrayana has been practicing. And the last final factor, the final principle that we must practice so that to expect the welfare of our society. What is that? We must duly protect and guard the Arahants and whoever has arrived and visited to our place, the saints, the sages, wishes, that whoever has gone forth, leave their house and living as a pampachita. So if they come in our society, we must take care of them. Who knows, maybe they already purified their mind, maybe they have high values, moral values, maybe they have high degree of concentration, who knows. But any Arahant that visited to us, we should not expel them, we should not behave. So this last principle, last rule that we must practice is that we have to take care of the monk, saint, sage. I have heard once in the Myanmar, in Mandalay, there one donor who invited 5,000 monks. Who invited 5,000 monks. The couple from Korea, they want to offer for the Bhikkhu Sangha. 5,000 he collected. It's not a small amount. And when he was asked, you can have offered to the like the famous monastery, forest monastery, or famous educational center of the Buddhist monastery. Why do you want to give dana to such a big amount of Bhikkhu Sangha? 5,000 is not a small quantity. So why? So he said that among these 5,000 of monks, if there is only one Sotapanna, if there or one Sakaragami or one Anagami or an Arahant, then I am satisfied to give offering to this Bhikkhu Sangha. So this was his intention. So we must know that any Sakaragami, Sotapanna, Anagami or Arahant, they won't show off their values to know themselves. They won't show others. They don't expect any recognition from the society. So they stay as a normal bhikkhu, normal monk. So we should not expect that only Arahant or only a highly status monk should only be looked after by us. Only we should take care only the high status monk, but we must take the last factor for the growth of any society that we have to look after the monks, the saints, the sages, the rishis, or anyone who is seeking for the spiritual development. So we must take care of them, because sometimes, the monks don't have any finance with them, and they can meet many problems in the way during their journey. So if we support them up, up to our ability to be looked after them. Then it helps. That's why, because their blessing, their well wishes, it always showers towards us. It always showers on the nation. So it is good to look after all the Bhikkhu Sangha if possible. So this was the 7 principles, the 7 factors that the Vajrayans has been practicing for long time. That's why no other kingdom, no other kings can destroy them, can attack them, or wage war against them. They were such a strong, democratic, federal state at that time. And these same rules, these same factors are applied for the Bhikkhu Sangha. The Buddha taught that Bhikkhu, according to the first factor, you must gather together. You must hold meeting twice a month. Like we have our Uposatha. Like today in Thailand, it's called one Phra. It's the Uposatha day. And in this Uposatha day, 14 in the full moon and in the full and the Mawas, in these 2 times, the end of the month, we have Uposatha. We gather together and chanting the Patimokkha, the Vinaya rules of the Bhikkhu. We chant together, and if we have made mistakes, we confess, and we live in peace and harmony with each other. So in order to maintain this unity, we must have frequent gathering. And second, we should not oppose with to the ideas of our elders. We must respect their words, whatever they have to say for us, we must follow it. And the third, we should not run after our craving. Every bhikkhu should have the contentment with whatever they have, with whatever requisites they have. All they belong is the robe. If they have robe, that's enough for them. They should not look after any different colors or any other dresses. Only with the upper robe, the lower robe, and the 2-level robe, the sanghati. With this, they must be contented with the robe. For the shelter, if they have 3, they should be contented with that. For the food, if they have the patta, if they have the bowl, by depending on their own legs, by going for arms to arms, they must be contented with whatever they gain from the offering of the lay people. And for medicine, if there is no medicine to cure, then we must depend on the urine of the cattle. It's called puti mutta. We keep the urine of cattle, sometimes it mixed with some certain food, amalaki, we mix with amala, and we consume it as a medicine. So these 4 things that's essential for every monk, and we should not go beyond that. We should not search after outside material things. We should be happy. We should be satisfied with this basic requisite, and we practice our own studies or meditation. So the Buddha was telling, for if any bhikkhu, if he expects for the growth, not to decline, then we must live with contentment and not run after the craving, after the tanha, because craving never ends. So if we run after craving, we will ultimately die, but the craving. So as a bhikkhu, we expect for the development, spiritual development, then we have to live with contentment. And the fifth, or the sixth, and the sixth factor is that a bhikkhu, if he becomes a bhikkhu or a novice, then he must cherish to dwell in the forest also. So we as a bhikkhu, we must love the forest, the greenery, the ecosystem. We should not destroy the plants or trees, but we must encourage the greenery of our world. So that's why dwelling in forest is one factor for the development of a life of bhikkhu. And the last, final is to establish ourselves in mindfulness. So if we have established a firm, strong mindfulness within us, if we are mindful with all of our behavior, all of our movements, motions, all of our intentions, our perceptions, we are careful of our words, our thoughts, then we know whether which way to go, the right or the wrong way. So mindfulness is the last factor for a bhikkhu, a monk, to lead a development, to lead to the progress of his life. So this is called Bhikkhu Aprihaniya Dhamma. The former 7 principles, they were Raja Aprihaniya Dhamma, the factors for non-decline of the Raja, of the minister. And later on, the Buddha further teach about the Bhikkhu Aprihaniya Dhamma, that for the welfare of the bhikshu. And so on. There are many good qualities that the Buddha has preached, but there is not much time left. So I have to conclude the Maha-parinibbana Sutta. I think hopefully if I can, then I have to make it part-wise, in these several many parts and continue. But I expect it so that I can finish the Maha-parinibbana Sutta. But anyhow, by these factors, we have to learn, we get some lessons that we must respect our elders, and also we must encourage the peace and harmony as much as possible. We should press our own hatred, our dosa against. We must maintain the mutual respect and have kindness in order to live in harmony. As the Buddha mentioned, the last factor for the growth of monks, the mindfulness, very crucial, very essential factor. That's why, in short, for the overall progress, overall development of our nation, of our society, of our community, we have to follow these non-decline factors that the Buddha has given to that minister or Sakara minister sent by the Magat, by the king Ajatasattu. So here I wish that we follow these 7 factors, we go along these 7 factors and have a good nation, build a prosperous way of life, and achieve the utmost end of all the suffering, the ultimate nibbana, we walk firmly in accordance with the Noble Eightfold Path, and we achieve all the ultimate peace of our life, and we seek that we will and we can end the suffering of ourselves. Before we end the suffering of others, we must first have to end the suffering created by our own defilement, the suffering by our verbal actions, the suffering that we create by our bodily actions. First, by mindfulness, we first stop all this suffering so that it don't spread outwards, so that we can prevent any suffering that arose within us. We finish it, we end it within us, and we stop the suffering, and we lead to the prosperity of life, beginning from the ending of all suffering within us. May all of the Buddhist upasika, may you all achieve the highest nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sabba buddhanubhavena, sabba dhammānubhavena, sabba sanghanubhavena. Sada suchi bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu. I here conclude my dhamma discourse, the Maha-parinibbana Sutta. Yes, now it's going to finish 1 hour of my talk, dhamma talk. So yeah, I end this Maha-parinibbana, the first part of the Maha-parinibbana, and you can maybe expect the later part on later live stream of this dhamma talk. So thank you very much. Thank you again, JBC, all the team members. Thank you.